interesting days ahead at the Court of Appeal or the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal.
Yesterday I talked about, or I think it was the day before yesterday, I talked about Ralph Waldo Emerson saying, what you say, what you do speaks so loud I can hear what you say. And that is what is playing out currently in the case as we see it today. INEC is trying to get a court order that will be ruled on today to vary the ex parte hitherto given to the two political parties. The APC has also jumped in the fray. Technically speaking, one thing is certain. There is no how you touch the beavers as we speak today that will not alter what is on it. That's what experts say. There is no how. And the question is, do they even need to reconfigure in the first place? I know some people have made the arguments, oh, they reconfigure the card reader. But this is the beavers. Do they need to reconfigure? Isn't the outlay different? Thirdly, in all of this, we forget in a hurry what happened in Osun. That the beavers machine itself is needed in all of this. So you must not touch what is on it, because the lawyers that got the first report for the beavers transfer report, that first requested the reports, got something entirely different from what the other lawyers that requested it got. The APC lawyers got something entirely different, because the beavers had not finished uploading its results. And in that Osun Election Petition Tribunal, because that case is sort of going to be a locus classical as regards anything beavers, because that's the first case where you're going to test beavers in this country, in the law court. That case also showed that the lawyers, fortunately, Ikpeazu was on the side of Adeleke on that case, had to request the hard beavers itself to be able to inspect themselves, to be able to get more data sets. So when you go ahead and say you want to reconfigure it, then a lot of people start to look at you in a suspect manner. And that's why we should watch it in this country. I think we've talked about the blackmail. Nobody should even come and hoodwink us with the blackmail on anything. The conversation should be about the integrity of those items. And in the eyes of the law, those items are already court property. That's why INEC has to go to court to seek an injunction to vary those orders. And it also behoves on the judiciary as they go for this process. They should remember Nigerians are watching them. And Nigerians want justice and integrity. And most of the judges are leaving in a couple of months from now. What would they want to be remembered by? And only to think that Chatham House has already said, INEC didn't even abide by the process. It means we've gone to disgrace ourselves in Chatham House. We told them we're going to do something. They're not doing what we said we're going to do. So there are many varying issues, and let's look at this. But most importantly, let the court rule today. We'll take a short.
PDP raises the alarm over alleged plan to erase, destroy evidence of rigging. Opposition parties insist reconfiguration of beavers will tamper with evidence. Yes, the issue of beavers to be reconfigured as requested by INEC. But the parties want to inspect and have access to the data to deal with their cases at the election tribunal. Good thing the APC has also joined the fray, because they also want to defend their victory. As Keyamo puts it not recently, if you are checking what we did in other places, we are also checking what Peter Obi did in Enugu and other places. So it's going to be interesting, as this day is also reporting there, APC constitutes 13-man legal team to defend presidential election petition. Yes, 12 senior advocates of Nigeria plus one that will be dealing with that. But there are other stories there in the front page of this day. Chatham House, Nigeria's presidential election not conducted in line with INEC's guidelines, says electoral body learned no lesson. Fitch downgrades Nigeria's short-term social stability on Tinubu's weak mandate. Now, Chatham House again. Because the INEC chairman took his gospel, his message of beavers to Chatham House, where he reassured the international community, as it were, that this election will be based on beavers, transmission of result, accreditation of voters, the game changer, as the media decide to call the beavers. And of course, some INEC officials, past and present, also assume that beavers has to be the game changer in 2023 general election. But what happened on February 25, inability to transmit results, Nigerians still waiting for explanation, even as INEC is seeking to reconfigure beavers for the gubernatorial polls coming up in a few days' time. The question, INEC seem to be, they seem to be saying something right now. Will this reconfiguration not affect the data in the beavers' equipment? That is a very critical question. But the court will rule on that on Wednesday. Now, the Guardian newspaper.
Isn't that today?
That's today. That's today. That's today. The Guardian is reporting Tinubu filed suit as appeal court rules on INEC's move to reconfigure beavers. Obi opposes INEC's six physical inspection of election materials. 70 CSOs, civil society organizations, kick. PDP rejects INEC bid, bid to reconfigure beavers machines. Court summons INEC, Wike, others over suit to suspend Saturday's Guba polls in Rivers. 10th National Assembly won't be Tinubu's rubber stamp, says Oshiomole. Well, good to hear that. Shekarau absent as 99 senators elect receive certificate of return. The Nation newspaper, INEC, reset of beavers, a must for governorship poll. Court decides today on LP's legal battle with election agency. While the Daily Independent newspaper, Obi Atiku, asked court not to allow INEC tamper with beavers. 70 CSOs kick against INEC move. Now, the New Telegraph appeal court ruled on INEC's application seeking to configure beavers today. Yes, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper court rules today on INEC. But the Business Day newspaper, no, before we go to the Business Day, at the marketplace where some traders are taking, some are rejecting, filling stations are rejecting. And if there's one place that should collect all notes, it used to be filling stations. Take your dirty notes, tattered notes to the filling stations, buy your petrol, they will collect. But these days, they are rejecting the old currency, even after the Supreme Court had ruled. Now,
you have a female gubernatorial candidate, Aisha Binani, out of the so many gubernatorial aspirants. So in terms of figure, Nigeria is not doing well with regard to women representation in politics or in decision-making positions. We're far behind many other countries, South Africa, Rwanda, Senegal, Zambia, and other countries, in Central Africa. Even Democratic Republic of Congo is doing better than Nigeria. But the funny thing is that we have a national gender policy that was passed in 2018. Now, this year, in 2022, Nigerian women went to court to challenge the Nigerian government for not implementing it. 35% affirmative action, 35% representation for women. Do you know that the Nigerian government lost in court and went on appeal? So this is the same government that will turn around and say that we support women. Finally, two quick things. Number one, We understand that ECOWAS is planning to give President Buhari an award and put his name on the roll of honor for being the champion of democracy in the West African region, where against the background of recent elections, where I don't know whether the ECOWAS Commission means that as a joke or they are really serious about it. Many Nigerians may not be impressed.
No, but President Muhammad Buhari has committed to
he's
handing down the free, fair and election.
Yes.
He is not the chairman of INEC.
Finally, we commiserate with the Nigerian Nollywood community over the death of Fadi Yoluru Ojo Arowo Shafe, who was born in September 1957, who, after protracted illness, died. Many young people will remember him as Fadi Yoluru of Arelu in the 80s,
yes.
a popular television, series. Fadi Yoloro Odishuke. Our commiserations to his family and also to other members of that, film community.
I mean, a lot of it's International Women's Day today, and we can't say enough. And Ireti Kingibe as a victory just shows the persistence and the strength of a woman. But if you're in doubt of the strength of a woman, I think what you should look at should be the story of Jennifer Abedi. And happy birthday to our own dear Ngozi here. It's her birthday today. And also, moving forward, as we wrap up real quickly, I think I'll quote the words of Richard Burrell, which popularly known as Shaggy, that sang a song called The Strength of a Woman. And says, she'll take you to a high, she'll put a smile upon your face, she'll take you to a higher place. Don't you underestimate the strength of a woman.
Well, you do so at your own peril, because they are mothers, they are sisters, they are our wives. And I don't want to add the other one.